my link. Add this class name. We will write the class for this, and even we will write the class for this nav also. We'll write here top nav. Top nav. ID equal to top nav. Hope given the link. Class equal to my link. Here, in each link tag, for all four link tag, you write a class equal to my link. Come to the CSS file, index.css. Write the CSS for this my link. We are given here for my link as well as top nav. So for top nav, we can write one a small CSS as top nav, padding of the top nav 10 pixel, background of the top nav, background color also you can write color. Below you can write no problem. Below we can add here. Next after that we can add here for text align, center. Next we will write for top nav, nav space li, display colon inline. Next we have a tag called my link, class called my link. For my link you can write a color as a white color, color as a white color, text hyphen decoration none, text decoration is a none, and check once. Navigation will be ready with a hyperlink. Inside the li we have to give the padding so that little gap will come 10 px, padding 10 px. Hope you have written. Look into the browser. It will create a very good menus. Some gap is from the top. We can remove that gap. Inside the top nav, we have to write margin 0px. Then that gap will remove. Margin 0px, that gap will remove. In top nav, we will write margin 0px, gap will remove, and link will generate like this. Basic link it will generate. When we click on that, different page will load. Finding even 10 pixel here is more, we can reduce to less, like maybe 6-7 pixel. We can accommodate lot of menus over there. This padding, if you want, you can increase to 15 pixel. Color, if you want, you can change some other color, your desired color, anything. I change little dark color. Something like this. Check once. Let me know if the navigation is ready. We can work on next level.
Sir, for me it is showing some problem.
You have written class or class name.
Class name means everything is coming, but in a weird.
Navbar is not coming.
Navbar is coming. The text in the navbar is coming, but the text color is your color text is white, and there is space between each word. But for me, it is not like that.
For link, have you given the class called my link? Link tag. Yeah, for link tag. For link tag, I have given a class my link.
Yes, I have given.
N is capital or small?
Oh my God, small.
It's to capital. Then try.
Now it is coming fine.
Compare this ID, compare this class, then come to the CSS file. This many CSS line I have written. If you follow that properly, definitely it should appear. हाँ ठीक है निकलिए. So hope your navigation is changed. Color combination is also coming proper. Write one small CSS here for this link tag. The class we are written for link. Right, for that link, my link. It's not link, it's a my link, right? My link colon over. When we move the mouse over there, it should convert little color. Color should become in the orange color. Okay, just color will change there. Once the mouse will go there, color should get changed. That is the only requirement. Next, we'll add the functionality. You can show me your code. What you have written? You have not saved two files. First, save the file. Save the file. Control S in app.js and index.css. So what we wrote, when we come to the browser, move the mouse here. Color is getting changed to which color? Orange color. Now click on menus and check once. Click on menus, check once. Let me try one more class. Okay, let me go here once and check in the console. So hope color is getting applied. Once you move the mouse, color got changed. A tag. We have used link tag. Why A is coming here? Link converted into A. Let me go here. And for li, just something I'm trying. Let me try that. If happening, then I'll write you. For li, class equal to class name equal to. Okay, or then R&D will not do now. Let the R&D come to the main points. So according to click, hope your pages are loading. Wherever you click, according to click, your page is getting loaded. Wherever we click, according to click, the page is getting loaded. According to click, your page is getting loaded. Right? So hope you are ready to move next. Go ahead. Come to your SRC folder. We will create one example to understand like nested component. What is the nested component? How we can create a nested component? Okay, and what is the component reusability? What is the component reusability and what is the nested component and how we can reuse a component again and again? For that, come to the basic folder only. Inside basic folder, create another file. Create another file. Give the file name blog list. Blog list.js. Blog list.js. Create one file. Blog list.js. And create one more file called blog.js. Blog.js. Blog list.js and another is called as a blog.js. Blog list.js. Next file is called blog.js. In blog.js, we will do something. In blog list also we'll do something. So first we'll start from the blog list. Come to the blog list. Write here a component import the React. Import React from React. Import React from React. Next, after that, import React from React. After that, write a class called, not class, constant. Write a const my blog equal to fat arrow come below export default my blog. Okay, export default my blog. Yes. Now inside the my blog, we will be writing here called return a division. For that division, we'll write a class name. Blog only. Come inside, write a h3 or maybe h3 will be okay. Blog title. Will come here dynamically. Come down below, use the p tag. Inside p tag, write some text. Three line of text. Okay. So we will call this blog my blog under the blog list. Okay, hope written. Next, after that, we will come to the blog page. This file is ready. Blog list. Blog list, whenever you will call, it will give you the details of one blog. Okay. Come to the blog file now. Hope you have written. So this is what we are learning. We are learning inside component reusability. Write once and use many times. Okay, React is famous for that. That's called component reusability. What is the component reusability? Let us know. So inside that, we will go to the blog.js file, import here React from React. Import React RE, import React from React. Next, after that, import my blog from bloglist.js. Import my blog from bloglist.js. Now write a constant here called blogs or maybe blog also. Blog equal to write arrow method. Come inside, follow a section tag, return you have to use. The return, under the return, use the section tag. Under the section tag, you will call my blog. Okay. Next, after that, export default my blog. Export default my blog. So you saw blog list we created separate. That blog list we call under the not blog list. We have a blog.
Sir, export blog na.
Uh-huh.
Export default blog will be here, right?
In which file? Here we have written already. Under the blog list, I have written export default my blog. Now my blog I am calling under the blog.js. So here,
Yes, but
here blog will come. My blog will not come. Here blog will come.
yeah, right.
Yes, blog will come here. So one component we created separate and we call under the another component. So this you can say as a nested component also. A component when you call inside another component, that is also called as a nested component. That is the one thing. So we'll run it and we'll see if working. Then we will try to understand what is the reusability. What is reusability? Write once, use many times. That concept how it come in. Yeah. So hope you are ready. Come to the app.js file now. We will provide a link and we will call this blog page. We'll provide a link and we'll call the blog page. And then we'll understand how this is going to go. To come to the app.js file, in app.js file, we have to import this blog. Which blog? Blog function name is, what is the function name? Blog. Okay, so come to the app.js, import here. Import blog from where? Basic / blog.js. After importing, You can add a link here. Give the link called my blog. Path is my blog. My blog, my blog. And here you can write simply as a blog text blogs. And you have to add a pathway. How you have given for the product list. Similar way you have to give for the my blog. My blog is the path. It should load the component called blog component. My blog is the path. It should load the component called blog component. Okay, so hope ready. Come ahead. Click on blogs, design, blog title. Blog. Yes. You added the link here. Yes, sir. Page is not loading. Which file? Blog.js. Got error? Click once. Hope for you both page is loading.
Sir, in the app.js,
In app.js.
uh, why we are writing here means my blog. We can write anything, right? Means
Anything
we
you
can write
can,
line number 18.
anything.
No, line number 18, you have written link to my blog. So this is only for URL, right? We can change it and write whatever we can, right?
Anything you can write. Whatever you write here, that you call here. This and this should match. It can be anything.
Yeah, I can write instead of my blog, I can write only blog, right?
Anything, anything. Anything means anything, your wish. But both should match.
Oh, okay.
Have you added in navigation bar? Hmm?
Sir, what is the difference between this link to MindLog and exact path MindLog?
This is like the HREF.
Okay.
Link is like the HREF. You are generating a link. You are writing a hyperlink. Here you are checking the condition. What is the value in the browser URL? Exact path, this line check. What is the value in browser URL after hash? Exact path will check in browser URL. What is the value after hash? Is it slash
Right.
book list? If yes, then book list will
It
come.
will go to.
Like it's a switch case. It is just like a switch case. They will be learning switch case also like this only. There also you will write exact path is particular than this component. So this is the upper, you have written the link tag you have used to generate the URL, to generate the link. And here you are checking what is the link, because user may click on any link. If user has clicked on any link, then what link he has clicked? We need to know. And according to the link, we have to display the pages. That is written here. If URL is exact path, roots need the first parameter called exact. Exact means 100% matching. Path means the URL of your project. After hash slash book list, then it has to load a element. Element is another properties of React. Under that element, we are sending the value of our component. So whichever the value we assign, that component will get loaded. That's how that line works.
Okay.
Next, after this, your page is loading. Now come to the file. So one component, one block is loading here because we have called only one time. Under the block component, you can see my block you are calling only one time. Now we can go here and this my block we can copy and paste, copy and paste. Paste it 3 times. You will find it will come 3 times. How many times loaded? Total 3 times. That's called a component reusability. One component you have created that is called my blog. You are using how many times? 3 times. Created one time and calling 3 times. That meaning this becomes a reusability.
This
We
is
wrote
three times or more times.
100 times you call. Okay, that is called reusability. Come next then. We will come to the blog list page. There you can see one class we have used called blog. We can go to the CSS file, index.css. In index.css, we can write here a class called blog. Under the blog, under the block, you can write we want to print 2 block in one line, half. Okay. So first we will write the CSS for block. There is no problem at all. You can look into this file, your blog list file. Blog list file have a class. Class name is called my blog. And if you go to the blog page, all the blogs we are calling under the section. So for section we can write one ID, blog container. Blog container. Inside the blog container, only all the blogs are coming. Okay, ready. Now come to the CSS file, and for blog container and for blog. For both we will write the CSS. So for blog container also, its ID as blog container. Just add in that width 90%, margin auto, width margin, width 90% margin auto, display colon flex hyphen wrap colon wrap flex wrap colon wrap. Now come to the block. Write margin between two blocks 2%. Padding inside the block 1%. So it will consume total 6%. You will write the width for each block 44%. Okay, and minimum height minimum height 150 px or 100 px. Okay, hope ready. Come to the page. See, two blocks are coming in one line with the sufficient space. space. That becomes a component reusability. You created once and you called total 3 times. 100 times also we can call. Let's come. Call again under the app.js file. You need to do anything under the blog page. This is called component reusability. We will be studying the property also in the same way, but not now. Once we come to the point, we'll learn the property props. Okay, 6, 7 times we added. See, 16 drive appear. That is called component reusability. But the component is a static component. It's not your dynamic component. It is not going to carry any dynamic data. Just the static it's written. Cool. Then we can go ahead next level. Okay. Next, after this, we have to move towards. We have to move towards state management. Okay, we have to move towards state management. When we are displaying the data inside the web page, when we take the input from user, that time different type of expectation of user will come. State is going to play a very important role in React. Whether it's a class component or function component, no problem. In both the case, state management will help you. We are going to enter into the state management. Hello. तो आपको मैनेज करना है अगर नहीं भेजे तो फिर बाद में मिल रहा है कर सकते हैं, लेकिन वो आपके अकाउंट से आना चाहिए। कुछ भी चलेगा, फोन पे, गूगल पे, कुछ भी। हम्म, ठीक है, ठीक है, कर सकते हैं स्टार्ट। स्टार्टिंग के लिए 4.5 अभी एक साल के बाद वही 4.5 है ना, वो 10 लाख में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा। गारंटी 4.5 अभी जो है, 1 ईयर के बाद आप कॉल करके हमको बताइएगा जब 10 लाख हो जाएगा तो, ठीक है ना। गारंटी 10 लाख में हो ही जाएगा 1 ईयर में। ठीक है, ठीक है, तो कर लीजिएगा। बाकी आपको थर्ड फोर्थ को जाएगा इधर से 3-4 डेज में, फिर हो जाएगा तो हेल्पफुल होगा आपके लिए भी, मेरे लिए। हाँ, हाँ, मतलब फिफ्थ को सब लोग को भेजते हैं हम लोग इधर से। हम्म, 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 ठीक है, हम्म, ठीक, ठीक, हाँ, हाँ, ठीक, ठीक, ओके, okay, sir, now hope your data is coming. Come to the next part now. Next part now, in this what you understood? If anyone is asking what is the component reusability, what should be the answer? Component reusability, what you will answer? Component reusability, what you will answer? You will answer, in React, we have a feature of component reusability that represent I can create a function one time and I can use multiple times. Just it's like a function. Function I created in one file, I am calling the function in different files. Okay, so calling again and again the same component is called a reusability. Okay. In case the people ask what is the props in React. So as of now, we have not covered the props. Props we will be covering once we get some more idea. Then component, nested component. What is the nested component? Suppose blog is a one component. Inside blog, which component is coming? My blog is coming. Blog is going to where? App.js. So the my blog becomes the child component of blog, and the blog become the child component of app. Correct? So when you call a component inside component, it can be A will go to the B will go to the C will go to the D, and D will come to the home page. Okay, that is also possible. So you can say when we call a component inside component multiple level, that's called as a which one? Nested component. That is called as a nested component. Yes, that's called as a nested component.
Sir, inside my block, I can also call another component, right?
Yes, yes, yes. You
No,
can-
means I am asking not the self-closing tag of my block, means the full tag, then inside that another component.
in anywhere under the block list.
Now here you have written my block and this is a end tag, right? So if we write the whole tag, right, without not writing the only end tag, and inside that we can also call another component.
There is a different way to call the component. That is not the matter of discussion. You can call like this, you can close like this also. Okay, we can close like this also. It
Yeah,
should
inside there another component inside that my block.
here inside here.
Yeah.
That I cannot say anything. I have not written like that ever. This way we can write, it will work. Where is that? It is coming here. But here inside this, let me write it. Which one I should call? Inside this, if I call again this component only, will it work or not? Okay, so my block become as a, let's see, it's a error or no error.
Is the line number 14 also called nested component calling?
Let me reload it. It is here last one. Another one is not coming here. How many times I can it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. This is the seventh one. So here in browser, how many are there? 2, 4, 6, seventh one. It's calling only one time. It is not calling multiple times. Inside I call the same. It's not calling. If I remove this, it should be seventh one only. Let me save it in seconds. Working here, seventh one. Okay, so inside that I try calling, it was not working. As a independent tag or dependent tag, both the way you can call. But calling inside the component, another one has not given any output. Okay, come next. Next, after this, where we'll go? We will come to our project folder. Inside the project folder, inside our project SRC folder, we have made one basic folder. So again, so in this we have this all component where we saw okay how to run a map function, how to component inside component. This one. Create another folder here. Give the folder name called one folder will be called class to implement the class component. One more folder you create here call hooks to implement the functional component. Under the class, we will implement the class component. Under the hooks, we will implement the functional component. right? So where you will start from? Functional component or class component? First, which one you want to cover? Functional or class?
Class.
Class component.
Okay. So we can go inside and we can finish first the class component. And then we'll come to the functional component.
What is the difference in class?
Class component is called as a class component. Functional component is called as a hooks. Hooks. Okay. In React, you can implement the functionality using two methods. One is called as a one is using the class object. Another one is using as a function. Okay. Function. Another one is using as a function. So when we are implementing using the function, right? When we are implementing using the function, then we have to follow the predefined function of React that is called hooks function. Okay, hooks function. If we are using the class component, we have to use the predefined classes of React that is called component class. Okay, hooks function will come where? Under the hooks function, predefined hooks function will come under the functional component. And another we have called component class will come under the class component. Okay, and both we have to depend on project structure. You cannot say people use only, but more people are using now functional component because Redux is based on hooks only, and your class component, if you have existing project or if you are working under any modification kind of work, then you will get the chance to implement that. Okay. So we will come to the file now and we will see how we can implement the class component. So go to your folder now. This existing file which we have created, we can close this file as of now. And we can start working on new files. Okay. And that file will go to which folder? Class folder. Yes. Under the class folder, under the class folder, we can write a file called class1.js. Class1.js. Class1.js, hope you are written. Come inside this class component. There is some certain way to write the component using the class component. What is that? Import React. And along with the React, you have to import another interface. Okay. You have to import a class only predefined class that is called component. C-O-M-P-O-N-E-N-T, component. C will be capital. Okay. Why we are importing this component? Because under this component, there is a entire state management functionality is kept under the component class. It is an interface actually, not a class. Where the functions and variables are defined, we have to use that inside our class from React. Okay. Next, after that, write a class, give class name called class1 extends component. The class one what we are creating, it is our class, but it is going to inherit, it is going to bring the feature from which class? component class. It is going to extend, it is going to bring the feature from the component class. Extend keyword is saying the same. Now come down below, export, default, class 1, default class 1. Okay.
Sir, can you repeat again that component part within the bracket?
Component is their interface. Component is the interface inside variable and functions are defined. Okay, component is the interface where variable and functions are defined. We have to call the component. After calling the component, we have to call the component. Which component? Component is the name of interface. Move the mouse here, no, it will show you. Interface. Alias of a class. It's alias of a class, but it's called the interface. Now, what is inside the interface? Under the component interface, we have function declaration, not the definition. What is inside? Function declaration. Like function is written, but the definition is not there. Variable is defined, but the value is not there. Okay, so now we are calling that, which one? Component. That meaning we have a right to use their variable and functions. Okay, so we will call the component, and after calling the component inside our project, we can call the variables of the component class and we can call the function of the variable class. Then you will ask, what are the variable and functions are there inside? We are going to use here. The first function is called render. It is called a life cycle function. Render. Okay, render. Render function, what is the use of that? A render function used to print the output in your browser. JSX, whatever you are going to generate, HTML, your code, that entire code, if you want, it should come in the browser, then you must have to use the function called render. Under the function component, what we have written? We have written directly return, but in class component, only return will not help you. You have to write the function called render. Render function is also going to return. Okay, render function is also going to return. Okay, what it will return? Let's try here a division. Division right here called h1. H1. Close the h1. We'll close the h1. Inside that, you can write here my class 1 is my class 1. Keep a paragraph also here. Inside the paragraph, you can use some class component is working. Okay, so hope ready. Let us come now next. We have to see below also you are doing export default. We have to import this class 1 in app.js file and we have to link somewhere. Then only we can see the output of this. Or if you don't want to link there, class 1 also you can call here. Where? Under the blog. Inside the blog you can call on the top, it will appear. So let's keep a link better on the top. So go to your app.js file, import the class 1. In app.js file, we can import the class 1. In app.js file, import the class 1, import class 1, suggestion will come.
Sir, the above components like book list, my product, my company, these components are called functional component, right?
Those are functional component. We have seen static pages. Okay. In functional component, I have not added any functionality. Just added basic static page we created, and after that we saw the flow of the React, how we can create the page and how we can call the page. Okay. Next, since you said okay, start from the class component, so start it. Let's finish one by one all the feature of class component. Then we'll come back to the functional component. Then again we'll start finishing all the feature of functional component one by one. So then you can differentiate, yes, in class component what I was doing and in functional component what I am doing. Add the link and check once. Ready? Page is loading or not? Class 1. If you go here, it is saying as a my class 1. Okay, so my class 1 page is loading. The way of calling plus to link and the routing syntax remain same. The way to call plus link to the routing, the syntax remain same. Now come to our page again. Class 1.js file. Under the class 1.js file, we can go here under the write a function called constructor. Constructor. Okay. Constructor. Now inside the constructor, it is compulsory to call the super function whenever you extend a class. Inside the constructor, it is compulsory to call the super function whenever you extend a class. Ready? Next, after that, keep the alert under the constructor. Constructor here. Keep another function under the render alert render here. Save the file. Check once which alert is coming first. First is constructor. See like this. First is constructor and second will be called render. Constructor here and then render here. Correct? Now when the constructor executed first, we can utilize the constructor. How you can utilize the constructor? As I told you, under the component class, the variables are defined. Okay, but value is not there. Okay, under the constructor, variables are defined, but the value is not there. Okay, what we will do inside, we will call that variable now. Okay, so let's call the variable this dot state equal to this dot state. It's like the object. So this object is defined under the component class, but data is not inside. Now under that variable, under the state variable, you are going to assign the value in the form of key and object, key and value. Suppose if I write here call counter colon 100. Okay, in normal day to day, in normal when we create the array in JavaScript object, so what we do, we put key and value, key and value. So now under the state, you got a variable called counter, and the value of counter is 100. If you want to print 100, we have to call the counter. But counter is not individual variable. It is inside the state, and state is the part of the current class. So we have to write this dot state dot counter. Then only we can get the 100. Come down. I'll keep here call align. Align equal to center, and I will write here under the H2 the counter is this dot state dot counter. It will give you 100 by default. Okay, hope ready. Sit now. What is the value? The counter is how much? 100. Right? So the value is this alert you can remove, not required now. So first constructor has executed. So inside the constructor we created a variable. Variable name is called counter, but you can't create directly. So we take the help from state. A state come from this one. Call it a component. Okay, as a predefined variable. Now, if you want to print that your variable what you have created, you have to write this dot state dot the key variable. Then it will print the value. So hope it is working. 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 Then we can leave here. Tomorrow we will work on state management. Okay, state management. 100 you have stored here. If you want to change the 100, if you want to increase, decrease. So you have used a function, use a variable called state. With the help of state, you created the variable, you store the value. Now with the help of, with the help of, with the help of set state function. Set state function is also part of this one only, component class. So we will call the set state function, and using set state function, we can change the value of this variable. Call it a counter variable. Directly we can't change the value of counter variable. We have to change the value of counter variable using the predefined state variable, state function that is called set state. Okay, that is the tomorrow task. We'll upload today.